I couldn't show that to the inmates when I came out of that little booth and walk down that hall and go back to my cell when I had to ball out. I had to ball out then when nobody was around. You had to actually.
And that is really true. What is your, I would say, if you had to say what was your best moment and what was your worst moment, what would they be?
My best moment was when I got released as Y4145, but as Bernard Hopkins to my family, to get that letter from the state parole board saying, quote, according to our records, your parole is up as of boom, 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 boom. It was in 96. I framed that. It's in my office. Every time I'm in that office at home, I see that. I can't miss it. Because walking off 9 years at 25 years old, where I never could stay out of trouble when I was 11 all the way up to 25, it was hell, and I was making bad decisions. And then the most moment that was the lowest, and I had to find myself to be where I'm at today, was when I was making a phone call from prison like I normally do at 8:30, because the phones open up at 7. I was in line like most people, and my time was up to use the phone. And my 4 sisters, everyone kept handing the phone. Bernadette to Marcy, Marcy to Charmaine, Charmaine to Yolanda. Your brother got killed last night. He was a year younger than me.
So sorry.
3 years in a row. My sister Bernadette turned 57 February 14th. I just turned 56 January 15th, 65. She was 64. Michael Derek Hopkins would have been 55 January 29th, just passed 2 weeks ago or a week ago. So and the reason this was so important that I say this, I couldn't show that to the inmates when I came out of that little booth and walk down that hall and go back to my cell when I had to ball out. I had to ball out then when nobody was around. You had to actually be a high-skilled actor without even knowing it. Because for me to show some type of vulnerability, it's danger. And so I got through that moment. And the crucial moment when I got shipped out of graded for a reason. Not because I was a bad inmate, not because I was a problem. My record shows. I had a clean record. I was a boxing champion in prison. Yeah, they had boxing in prison. I won titles in prison. I got video of me boxing.
Is where you started, Bernard? So, like, I know you shared that there were more gyms in Philly than there were churches, and there were a lot of churches. Yes. And I know you're, you know, even though like life on the streets, it was hard and this and that, and that's how you got in trouble. But your relatives kept trying to put you in the ring. So you boxed out on the street and then in prison, and then you took that when you got out and made that your craft.
Lori, if they didn't, like, I tell people, they ask me, you know, people want to do the book, they want to do this, people is offering me stuff, and I'll be like, okay, Bernard, they think I learned I learned boxing from prison. No, this is why I know that it's bigger than Bernard Hopkins, right? You know why? Because I got away from boxing when I was young. I started when I was 9. I have uncles, mother and father that boxed in the 70s and the 60s, and they was pretty good locally, well known even to the day amongst the old guys that's still here. Lori, what happened, I got there, they had boxing, and it took about 6 months for me to find my way down the gym. You know, the old guy that been there, he got life in prison, he's a trainer, he learned from watching fights, he's been there longer than I've been born, and I can train you, and they had boxing. It was a way to have some sanity or to get some energy out, and I fell in love with it again. So when people ask me, Bernard, you think you would have, continued and got back to boxing if she never went to jail? I said, I doubt it. I was too far gone in my own ego, my own ignorance. And I don't mind saying that because I was that. And I was just as animate as I am now, and I've been in my career as a street guy, as they call a bully, punk, whatever. But I used to, and I'm not bragging, I sound like I'm talking like I'm energized. I'm talking because I got to tell a story. It's part of my story. And I don't want nobody to think I'm glorifying it. But I know for a fact, if I didn't go because of my behavior, I would have never found the love back for boxing. I won tournaments, I won Golden Glove tournaments, but I wanted money when I got to about 16. I wanted the nice sneaks. I wanted the chain. I wanted things that I thought that was important. Now that I evolved and I understand that life is bigger and better than a car and chain and nice clothes. They things are great. I mean, they are great, but they're not worth my life and freedom.
Oh, of course not. No, I mean, but people do, like when you're a teenager, you think one way, and then as you get older, you think other ways, and everything that you value, you see that there's really no value in inanimate things, because, what's that saying? You don't, when you die, you don't go, oh, you don't think about all the things in your house. You think about the relationships and the people you knew,
How are you, man? Hey, get the bike. Yeah, what happened?